Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Now, earlier this morning, we were talking about what's going on in Flint.
Basically, the Supreme Court is allowing Flint, Michigan residents to sue the government over the water crisis.
A class action lawsuit.
Right. So we were asking what happens. Do people sue? Do you bankrupt Flint? How do they make money? And we have somebody on the line. Who's on the line, Charlamagne?
My man, attorney Ben Crump, he is actually handling the Flint, Michigan case. He's been out there fighting for Flint for a while. Good brother Ben, what's happening?
Good morning, brother.
Hey, how y'all doing, brothers? Angie?
Good morning, Attorney Crump. How are you?
Yeah, man.
Well,
We just sitting here. We was talking about it this morning. We know the Supreme Court is allowing Flint water lawsuits to move forward. You're the attorney on the case, right?
I'm one of the attorneys. My law firm represents a couple of thousand Flint citizens, and this is a huge decision, Charlamagne, by the U.S. Supreme Court, because they could have easily ruled the other way, but with this decision allowing the 14th Amendment guarantee to due process for the citizens of Flint, which, as we talked about when I came on the show, is a majority-minority community, it allowed us to have legal redress for these crimes that they committed against our citizens, because this was a crime. Let's don't ever let them forget about Flint, where they did intentionally, I believe, switch to the Flint water, which they knew the river was corroded and contained all kind of toxins, and this led to lead poisoning of our children. The problem with lead poisoning, it's not so bad for adults, Charlamagne and Angie and Envy, but your children.
Right.
It stunts brain development. And so they are building high schools now because they understand in the next 10 to 15 years, there's going to be a large percentage of young people who are mentally retarded, who have attention deficit disorders, and it's directly as a result of lead poisoning. That's why when your children, if you see a child licking on the windowsill, you immediately take them to the hospital. And that's just from 1 or 2 times catching them licking on lead poisoning, because the scientists and the doctors know how just dangerous that is. Can you imagine for 2 years, people bathing, drinking, cooking with corroded water that was poisoning their children, and what impact it's going to have? So this decision is huge. We still have about 40,000 people who are unrepresented, and unfortunately, a lot of them are our people because we are so distrustful of the system, and that's why I've been to Flint over the last 3 years about 20 times arguing that we can't be left out because it's going to have an effect on your children. You might not see it today, but the science tells us that it's going to impact their brain development. And so what you don't see today, you will see it in 10, 15 years. And we know when black people have mental issues, they don't treat them like mental issues. They treat them like criminal issues.
Absolutely.
And that's why we're fighting so hard out here.
Well, Attorney Crump, real quick, I heard that Flint, Michigan has an insurance policy, because I was wondering, how these people are going to get paid, how much will they get paid, but I'm hearing that they have an insurance policy on Flint?
Or do they bankrupt the city? How does that work?
Okay, good question. Absolutely. They have monies and insurance set aside between the state and the city and the federal components who were supplying this water. And you got to remember, this was the emergency managers who made this decision, the state of Michigan, who are never going to go bankrupt. They got billions of dollars.
Okay.
And just remember this, y'all, we got to fight that they respect black lives, because if this would have happened in a more affluent community, like a suburb community or Beverly Hills or any affluent community, they would be talking about billions of dollars. We're still dealing with hundreds of millions of dollars, but it would be billions of dollars if these were little white children that were going to be mentally retarded. And nobody went to jail, Charlamagne and Angie, as we talked about with my book, Legalized Genocide. They poisoned in the community, and nobody went to jail. And remember, every time they locked us up for selling marijuana or crack and so forth, what did the judge and the prosecutor say? They said it was because we had to send a message, we had to be tough on crime because they were poisoning the community. Now we come to Flint, Michigan, where a whole community was poisoned, and not one damn person went to jail.
And people knew about it for quite some time. So we appreciate you for clearing.
2 seconds. Is this a case where the lawyer's going to get rich, but the resident's going to end up with just $40?
I promise you that won't happen with any of my clients. And, my clients will come on and talk to the Breakfast Club about it, because I do think it's going to be a very important settlement, because we got to look out not just for individuals, we got to look out for the whole community. We got to make sure they have special teachers who can deal with these young people who are going to be mentally retarded, who are going to have attention deficit disorder. And remember this, Charlamagne, Newark, New Jersey has a Flint water crisis issue.
Yes, sir.
Sure do.
Maryland has a Flint water crisis issue. In Louisiana and California, there's a Flint in every state. In poor, brown, and black communities that we can never let them sweep under the rug or marginalize. And so I'm going to keep yelling with every influence I have. Never forget about Flint, because this could be your child, too.
Well, let's set an example in Flint. Thank you for calling, Attorney Crump.
That's right. And let us know if you need anything from us, man. We're here for you.
Yeah, love to have you back up.
Appreciate y'all.
All right.
God bless y'all for getting the word out. Thank y'all.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. That was Attorney Benjamin Crump.